Now I want to expand a little bit more in talking about a cube in perspective. So to do that, I'm going to untape my paper here, and we're going to rotate this so that I'm looking at more of I have an area that's more conducive to like a landscape, wider area, so I have room to do what I want to do, which you'll see in a minute. Okay. So let's imagine, if you will, that this area down here is land, and this area up here where we've already drawn is sky. Okay, let's say there's some, clouds up here. Maybe there's a sun setting over here, right, going down. Down below what? What do we call this line? It's called the horizon line, right? And in perspective drawing, the horizon line is very important. Now when you look out at the sky and the land, the horizon line separates the sky from the land. You see it out here on the lake all the time, right? But also the horizon line always corresponds with the viewer's eye level. So you can have a horizon line in terms of drawing, perspective drawing, even within a room. So I'm going to show you what's called two-point perspective. I'll abbreviate point with PT, two-point perspective, because we're going to have two vanishing points. And the vanishing points are is the point at which those lines, let's say it was the road, at which those lines converge, or where that road kind of disappears on the horizon. So if you could see this road going on until it hits the horizon line off in the distance, say you were out in the desert, right? It vanishes or goes out of sight at that point, and that's called the vanishing point. This would be what's called one-point perspective, because it's just going towards one point. Well, we're going to do two-point perspective, and we're going to put our vanishing points right here. Or I'm going to imagine that they're here. I'm going to draw an arrow, actually, pointing to where are my vanishing points, because I want to spread my vanishing points out as much as possible. So in drawing a cube in perspective, which I have already alluded to it earlier, I'm going to show you how that works in a controlled manner, and this was developed during the Renaissance. So again, I'm going to start with, like our other cubes, I'm going to start with a vertical line. And then what you have is you draw lines. Now your lines that represent the edges that are going away from you or going back in space. Now we're going to draw them, and I'm not going to use a ruler. I just want to try to come close. This doesn't have to be perfect. It's just an exercise. I'm going to draw light and loose, and I'm going to draw a broad sweeping line. I'm going to make that line appear, or I'm going to draw it. I'm going to move my hand towards that vanishing point, right? And then the same thing here. I'm going to draw my broad sweeping line going towards my vanishing point like this. Okay, and then the same thing over here. This side, if you're right-handed, it's going to be a little bit harder because you have to go across your body. I actually had to kind of move my body over to the left to do this. I'm going to draw a broad sweeping line coming all the way over here, trying to get close to that vanishing point. If my line's not perfectly straight, I'm not too worried about it. Then the bottom line also is going to come up. Okay, I'm making my lines nice and light. I'm putting the pressure on my hand. I know I'm using a writing grip, but I'm trying to put all the pressure on my hand and not so much on my pencil. Okay, I made my first line dark, but I made these lighter. So you can see how our lines converge. Right now, they almost look like they get flatter as they go away, but we're going to fix that. So now we're going to think of this as a cube, just like before. We want to figure out where do we want it to end. And wherever I decide I want it to end, I'm going to end it here. I'm just going to draw a line going straight down. Okay, keep it vertical again, parallel to the edge of your paper. Keep it plumb, keep your corners plumb. And then over here, I'll make this one, maybe I'll go back a little bit further. Just draw a line straight down. And then just like in our other cubes that we drew, we have to draw these final two lines. But in perspective, again, they go towards an imaginary vanishing point. And then that one, so this one goes over here to the right vanishing point. This one goes to the left vanishing point. Whoop, it's way off target at first. The lines are a little shaky. See, even I have trouble. But you know, you just draw and redraw, and then you do it lightly, get it how you want. And then I can come in here and darken it up, make it all come together. And there you have a cube in perspective. So you can use rulers and all of that, but sometimes you just want to draw quickly and you see something in perspective and you want to be able to freehand it. So that's what this shows you the concept of what's going on, how things get smaller and why they get smaller according to linear perspective as they get further away.